कब्र में आके पूछेंगे तुमसे, तुम्हें ये किसने कहा था इधर उधर देखो। किसी के पहलू में रहना भी कोई खूबी है, किसी के पहलू में रहना भी कोई खूबी है, जो मुश्तबे हो थाने में रात रहते हैं। किसी के पहलू में रहना भी कोई खूबी है, जो मुश्तबे हो थाने में रात रहते हैं। नबी के कुर्ब में अगर दुश्मने अली है तो क्या, खुदा के घर में भी रातों में मनात रहते हैं। जनाबे अमीरुल मोमिनीन अलैहिस्सलाम की विलादत है, शेर आज कर रहे हैं। कुदरत को जोर बाजुए वहदत दिखा गया, कुदरत को जोर बाजुए वहदत दिखा गया, ईमान वाला कुफ्र की दुनिया पे छा गया, और शीबा बंद कर गया बाबे हरम तो क्या, कातिल बुतों का दूसरे रास्ते से आ गया। सदाए मोहरे नबूवत की आई काबे से, सदाए मोहरे नबूवत से आई काबे से, हजार शुक्र के मुझको मेरा सवाल मिला। असद की बात नहीं खेल है मुकद्दर के, मुझे करार मिला और तुझे फरार मिला। माशाअल्लाह। करबला ऐ करबला, ऐ करबला, जिस नाम से जिंदा है तू, हराम में उसका लहू, हराम हर सांस उसका काफिला। ऐ करबला, ऐ करबला, तेरी झुलसती रेत पर तड़पा वो पैकर ग्यास का, ये साहिल दरिया तेरा खुतबा है जिसका प्यास का। बिनते रिसालत जिसकी माँ, वो जुर्रतों का लफ्तेजां, सच्चाइयों का लाडला। ऐ करबला, ऐ करबला, घोड़े से मट्टी पर गिरा जो आबशारों की तरह, घोड़े से मट्टी पर गिरा जो आबशारों की तरह, बिखरी थी जिसकी जिंदगी कुरान के बालों की तरह। ताजे सहर जिसकी दिया तो उसका ऐसा दिया, जनों के खंजर पर चला। ऐ करबला, ऐ करबला, जिसकी उखड़ती सांस ने, बड़ी तवज्जो, जिसकी उखड़ती सांस ने गर्दन मरोड़ी जुल्म की, वो नज़र की एक ज़र्ब से तलवार तोड़ी जुल्म की, जिसने किया दस्ते सितम इनकार बैयत से कदम, जो था सरापा हौसला। ऐ करबला, ऐ करबला, यूं जान कर देता न हो, यूं जान कर देता न हो, न होते, यूं जान कर देता न हो, चर्चे न होते दीन के, उसकी जुबानें पुष्ट से फूटे हैं सोते दीन के। तो साथ उसकी कब्र भी, उसका सुकूते सब्र भी, धड़कन हरारत बलबला। ऐ करबला, ऐ करबला, है एक सतूने रोशनी उम्मीदों के लिए, दहशत है उसकी मुस्तकिल सारे यजीदों के लिए। है एक सतूने रोशनी उम्मीदों के लिए, दहशत है उसकी मुस्तकिल सारे यजीदों के लिए। बातें को गारत कर गई, उसकी जसारत कर गई, मजलूम कौमों का भला। ऐ करबला, ऐ करबला, माशाअल्लाह।
रूह है तामीर काबा की, खलील अल्लाह से मंसूब है तामीर काबा की। अली के फायज का सदका बहारिए तौकीर काबा की। वसीए मुस्तफ़ा पैदा हुए अल्लाह के घर में, कुशा यौमे विलादत खुल गई तकदीर काबा की। ازل نور کی تنویر حسین مالک خلد برین وارث تحتی حسین مرکز نور ازل نور کی تنویر حسین سینوں پشت نبی دوش نبی تیرا مقام تیری توصیف کرا کے کوئی تحریر حسین خاک کربلا کی کا ہوا نام بھی اب خاک شفا تیرے سجدوں سے بہاری خاک کی توقیر حسین زینت چشم ملائک ہے خدا شاہد ہے آج سے درد کی تیرے خاک بھی تکثیر حسین ہر قدم دبائے فرمان رسول عربی ہر عمل تیرا ہم ہے قرآن کی تفسیر حسین حرف حق قول تو آزادی افکار عمل آدمیت کے ہر ایک خواب کی تعبیر حسین کربلا تربیت فکر کا میدان عمل بارملا جرت اظہار کی تقدیر حسین ننگے سر شام کے بازار میں آئی زینب تیرے مقصد کی نگہبان تیری ہمشیر حسین چھن گئی سر کی ردا لٹ کے خیم و مولا کس سے فریاد کرے زینب دلگیر حسین السلام اے شاہ کونین ولی ابن ولی عزت نفس کی توقیر حسین ابن علی
جدا ہوتے فساد حکم و عمل میں جدا جدا ہوتے خلل خدائی میں پڑتا جو دو خدا ہوتے اگر نبی بعد کوئی مصطفیٰ ہوتے قسم خدا و پیمبر کی مرتضی ہوتے مخاطب حر سے ہوئے یوں رہی سے کوفہ و شام مخاطب حر سے ہوئے یوں رہی سے کوفہ و شام جو مرد ہیں وہ نہیں ناقص الوفا ہوتے جواب حر نے دیا لا الہ الا اللہ سمجھتے حق کو اگر تم نہ بے حیا ہوتے جد پسر علی ولی جد محمد عربی حقوق ان کے نمک نہیں ادا ہوتے بڑھاؤ لاکھ نہ ہوگا یزید ناس امام ہزار سجدے کرو بت نہیں خدا ہوتے امل بنی قدموں پہ گری کھولے سر کے بال امل بنی قدموں پہ گری کھولے سر کے بال کی علی یا ولی شیر ذوالجلال عباس کے خاطر نہ کچھ کیا خلال لونڈی یا میں غلام ہے اب حضرت کا یہ لال رہتا ہے خدمت حسین خوش شفاعت میں ہاتھ اس غلام کا نہ دیا کسی کے ہاتھ میں امر بنی سے روکے علی نے کی یہ بات دیتا حسن کے ہاتھ میں کیوں کر میں اس کا ہاتھ شاہدہ تیرے پسر کا ہے شبیر اس نیک ذات عاشق حسین ہے عباس کو شفاعت شان بہادری ہے تیری نور عین میں اس کا ازل سے ہاتھ ہے دست حسین میں عباس کو بلا کے گلے سے لگا لیا عباس کو بلا کے گلے سے لگا لیا اور ہاتھ اس کا دیکھ کے ہاتھ میں شبیر سے کہا اے لال یہ غلام ہے تیرا باوفا میری طرح تو بھی پیار کیجیو صدا آفت کا دن تم کو جو مقدر دکھائے گا اس روز یہ غلام بہت کام آئے گا عباس سے کہا کیا میرے نونہال تو ہے علی کا لال، یہ ہے مصطفیٰ کا لال، رکھو ہمیشہ خاطر شبیر کا خیال، اس کا ملال احمد مرسل کا ہے ملال، پیش خدا بزرگ رتبہ حسین کا، مجھ کو بھی پاس رہتا ہے اس نور عین کا۔
زندہ ہے المن کی صدا، زندہ ہے المن کی صدا، مٹتا نہیں خون کا لکھا، زندہ ہے المن کی صدا، مٹتا نہیں خون کا لکھا، حق کی قسم شبیر کا، ایک معجزہ ہے کربلا، اس در پہ ہر سر ہوگا خم، حیا علی خیر العمل۔ میں گزارش کرتا ہوں آصف میر صاحب سے کہ وہ سلام پیش کریں۔ صلوات
مٹے گی یہ دنیا، مٹے
باندھی عداوت کی، چراغ مدحت آل نبی گھر گھر میں جلتا ہے، مقدر ہے علی کے دشمنوں کا آگ میں جلنا، کوئی دنیا میں جلتا ہے کوئی محشر میں جلتا ہے۔ ٹھوکر سے ابتلا کی چٹانیں ہٹا گئے، ٹھوکر سے ابتلا کی چٹانیں ہٹا گئے، شبیر مشکلات میں جینا سکھا گئے، شبیر اپنے چاند ستاروں کے نور سے فرش زمین کو عرش معلا بنا گئے، ہر موج پاؤں چوم کے قربان ہو گئی، عباس جب فرات کے ساحل پہ آ گئے، خندہ لبی صداقت اسلام بن گئی، اصغر قضا کی گود میں یوں مسکرا گئے، پاؤں کے آولوں میں حقیقت کا نور تھا، باطل کے خار خار کو عابد مٹا گئے، زینب تیرے جہاد پہ صدقے ہے کائنات، حیدر کے حوصلے تھے جو خطبوں میں آ گئے، اصغر کو دفن کر کے دہکتی زمین میں مولا حسین دین کا پودا لگا گئے۔
اے حیدر کرار کے بدبخت عدو سن، اے حیدر کرار کے بدبخت عدو سن، خود اپنی حالت پہ ذرا غور کیا کر، ہے بغض علی خامی خلقت کی علامت، ہے بغض علی خامی خلقت کی علامت، ہم سے نہ الجھ ماں کی خیانت کا گلہ کر۔ پوری یہ کبھی منشا شبیر نہ ہوتی، پوری یہ کبھی منشا شبیر نہ ہوتی، بھائی کی مددگار جو ہمشیر نہ ہوتی، یہ خون چھپا جاتا اگر بنت علی کی، یہ خون چھپا جاتا اگر بنت علی کی، بازار کے ہر موڑ پہ تقریر نہ ہوتی۔ چند اشعار پیش خدمت، عنوان ہے پروانہ شبیر۔ تے سینوں میں یہی دل ہیں عزا خانہ شبیر، سینوں میں یہی دل ہیں عزا خانہ شبیر، سر ہے یہی سنگ درے کاشانہ شبیر، پہنچائیں گے دنیا میں ہم افسانہ شبیر، اے صلی اللہ جلوہ جانانہ شبیر، ہم عاشق شبیر ہیں پروانہ شبیر، ہم اس کے فدائی ہیں جو 2 دن کا تھا پیاسا، ہم اس کے فدائی ہیں جو 2 دن کا تھا پیاسا، پانی نہ ملا جس کو دمے زبا ذراسا، زہرا کا جگر بند محمد کا نواسا، اے صلی اللہ جلوہ جانانہ شبیر، ہم عاشق شبیر ہیں پروانہ شبیر، سر جس کا اتارا گیا سجدے میں خدا کے، نیند آئی جسے سارے زمانے کو جگا کے، جو سو گیا آندھی میں چراغ اپنا جلا کے، اے صلی اللہ جلوہ جانانہ شبیر، ہم عاشق ہیں شبیر پروانہ شبیر، دیکھا نہ سنا یوں کسی سلطان کا ماتم، دیکھا نہ سنا یوں کسی سلطان کا ماتم، ایسا نہ ہوا ناشر قرآن کا ماتم، دیکھا نہ سنا یوں کسی سلطان کا ماتم، ایسا نہ ہوا ناشر قرآن کا ماتم، 1300 برس سے عجب شان کا ماتم، اے صلی اللہ جلوہ جانانہ شبیر، ہم عاشق شبیر ہیں پروانہ شبیر، صلی اللہ
There are two types of views on history and revolutions and societies, how they move forward and how a system is changed and a new system takes over. As you know, something that Marx introduced, and it's known as the dialectic system of history, in which he seeks to, let's say, do tafsir or give the explanation of the changings that go around in the society and in history according to the dialectic system, in which he says, and Hegel also says this, that things naturally change, that a society oppresses let's say, ruling class of a society oppresses the poor class until the poor can no longer handle it, and it suddenly bursts out, and the poor become the rulers. And the whole process goes on and on and on. We can explain it in simple terms, and it is like this, that if water is heated, the water will carry on getting hotter and hotter until it comes to a stage where it can no longer accept any heat and it becomes into steam. I.e., a continuous change in quantity that results at the end, when no longer quantity can be changed, it results in the change of shape. Or let's put it this way, that if there's a glass in you, or let's say a tube, whose head is narrow, and you close that head with something, whatever, and then there's water in it, and you heat the water will become hotter and hotter, and it will evaporate more and more, until the glass will no longer be able to take the pressure and the glass will explode. Is this the true meaning of the revolution of Imam Hussein, or is there something other than this? Now these people, the materialists, they say that this is the rule of the nature, and this rule applies on the human being. It is as nature, like the water in that glass, it gets hot until it can no longer withstand the heat and it blows up. They say that the revolutions, whatever they might be, they are of this nature, i.e., that Imam Hussein did not carry out a pre-planned operation of rising against Yazid. It was something which was very, very natural, and like anything that happens in the world. You hit the hand on the table and the voice comes out. It's the same thing. What they say is that at the death of Ali ibn Abi Talib, inflicted more atrocities on the Ummah. And the atrocities went on and on and on until the Ummah could no longer withstand the atrocities, and then it blew up, and its blowing up was the event of Ashura. As simple as that. This is how they explain the uprising of Imam Hussein. Now here we have to ask two questions. One, that the uprisings which are sudden and are natural without man using his conscience, can you praise a person or people responsible for such uprisings? Two, is there any type of morality associated with such uprisings or not? The answer, the first one, let's say, if, to give an example, if a hunter is shooting a lion, now he wants to shoot that lion. He doesn't know that that lion is about to attack his own son and about to kill him. Now this man wants to shoot the lion for the sake of shooting the lion. This man shoots the lion and kills the lion. By him killing the lion, his son is saved, isn't it? praise this man for saving his son? We can't. Because his intention was to kill the lion, not to save his son. So if the revolutions are something which are sudden, an explosion, without thought, you cannot praise the people who contribute towards that revolution or the uprising. That's one thing. The second thing is that is there any morality in there? Obviously the answer is no, because it's something which is natural, a glass blowing up when it can no longer withstand the pressure of steam within it. There is no such thing as praising them. The example here that we will cite is when the Muslims went and they went to Spain and they won Spain. They overcame the Spaniards and then made it into Bilad al-Muslim. What happened was that the general, when the Muslims came with their ships to Spain, when they all went on the shores, the general ordered the ships to be burnt. When all the ships were burnt, he told the people, behind you is the sea. In front of you are the enemies. And where you stand between the two is death. Look at this proposition. Behind you is the sea, you will drown. In front of you is the enemy. And where you are standing now is death. If you stand here, you'll be killed. You can't go back. Your ships are burned. The only way out for you is to go forward and kill the enemies. So they fought and they killed the enemies. Can they be praised for this? They can't be praised for this. That was the only way out. There was no other way out there. That was the only way out. It was something which they had to do. Neither can you praise them, and neither was there any morality in that act. So here, we cannot say that this revolution of theirs, or with this uprising against the Spaniards, or winning Spain over for the Bilad al-Muslimin, is a, let's say, conscience sort of a thing that these people who have won it did. But in the case of Imam Hussein, does the same thing apply? No, this is not so. First of all, the first thing is, being Muslims, and our philosophy states that man is different from, well, he is a part of nature, but the rules of nature don't apply on man all the time as they apply on nature, because there is a unique quality in man, and that is that he can think and make a choice and a decision. So sometimes he can bring upon himself to go in accordance with the rules of nature and with his own will, and sometimes he might be against it and it might happen suddenly. Now with Imam Hussein والسلام, his revolution was not of this kind. It was a revolution which was pre-planned and which was thought out thoroughly. It is said in the reign of Muawiyah, when Muawiyah was ruling after the death of Imam Hassan والسلام, Imam Hussein, wherever and whenever he met Muawiyah, he used to expose Muawiyah in front of everybody. And he used to say, look, you have committed these crimes, and you have done this to the Ummah, and you have killed these people, and you have killed the lovers of Imam Ali, and you have abused the family of the Prophet, and you have destroyed the nizam, the system that Muhammad left. Imam Hussein was constantly saying this, and he was preparing for a revolution. And it is said on many, many, many occasions, Imam Hussein gave khutbahs and he exhorted people against Muawiyah. When Muawiyah wanted to put Yazid in his place, he was preparing for it, Imam Hussein went to Muawiyah and he said, are you saying that Yazid is a good man? And are you saying that Yazid is a person who has foresight? He said, do you think you are talking to us about a person who we don't know anything about? We know very well who Yazid is. He's the worst of the youths. He's a person who drinks alcohol, and he's a person who plays with dogs, i.e. dog fights and pets, and who plays with the this intention of uprising against Yazid and revolting and fighting against Yazid. And it wasn't something which was sudden, a sudden explosion. Because if it was a sudden explosion according to what the materialists say, then that means the whole of the Ummah, the explosion would have manifested in many levels of the Ummah. But here it didn't manifest in many levels of the Ummah. It was only within a certain group of people on the land of Karbala. In that, Imam Hussein salam, he says to Yazid, to Muawiyah, he said, "O Muawiyah, if I stay silent in front of you, I fear that Allah will not excuse me on the day of Qiyamah." And secondly, Imam Hussein says to Muawiyah, he says, "And I fear that Allah will not accept my excuses and that Allah will blame me for what is happening if I don't speak up." And then he says to Muawiyah, "Inna akbara jarimatin laka tahakkumuka ala riqab an-nas liwaladika al-akhir." He said, the biggest sin that you are committing, or the biggest atrocity that you have placed on this ummah, is that you are leaving your son Yazid to be their ruler, the one who drinks alcohol and who plays with dogs. After that, when Imam Hussein salam was in Mina, he again said, he called the people around him. He called many, many people. This is the strategy of Imam Hussein. All of this proves that his revolution was pre-thought, and he was always planning, and it was something very strategical. He gave a khutbah praising himself and praising Muhammad al-Muhammad, narrating all the ayat that were, let's say, revealed in the praise of Muhammad al-Muhammad. Then he narrated all the hadith in the praise of Muhammad al-Muhammad. Then finally, he said those hadith that the person who sees a corrupt ruler and does not revolt against him, that Allah will put that person with that corrupt leader. And then he said to everybody around him, he said, "Listen, write all that I'm saying, write it all down, and convey to Muawiyah that I have said this." This was towards the end of the rule of Muawiyah. Then again, in Hajj, he went to people and he told them, "Look, Muawiyah is doing this, and now he has put Yazid in his place, and this is something which is unacceptable." And he wrote to Bani Hashim, as we narrated some days ago, and he said, "Whoever of you wants to come with me, he should know that he will die. And whoever stays away from me, he should know he won't be successful." Now at that time, Imam Hussein salam could have kept quiet. He could have given his bay'ah. And finally, he would have revolted, which he did. He revolted against Yazid. Now, when he was leaving Makkah, he gave this khutbah. He said, "Allah has put death on Ibn Adam as he has put jewelry on the neck of a young bride." I.e., death is that close to the son of Adam. And he said, "Indeed, my body will be cut in Karbala and stomachs will be filled with my body." He said this poem is a very lengthy and a very eloquent poem. After that, he went towards Karbala, and on the night of Ashura, and this is another thing that proved that Imam Hussein's revolution was not a sudden burst and an outcome which was unconscious or something which was not thought out, is that at night of Ashura, he said to his Sahabi, he said, "I am lifting my bay'ah from all of you, and all of you can leave, because these people, the army of Yazid, they only want my bay'ah, and if I don't give bay'ah, they will kill me. Their job is with me, not with you. So you may go." This again proves that there was no type of, let's say, natural compulsion for anybody there to fight, like the materialists are saying, but it was something which was conscience and something which was pre-planned. So Imam Hussein Salam's uprising and revolution was something, you can say that it was a strategy of Imam Hussein Hussein to travel from Medina and go towards Karbala. And Hazrat Abdullah accepted this condition. It is said that when Imam Hussein was leaving Medina for Makkah, Hazrat Abdullah was very ill. He brought his two sons, Aoun and Muhammad, to Imam Hussein. And he said, "O Master, I cannot be with you, but if the need arises, please use my two sons and let them give their lives for you before your Shahada." Imam Hussein advanced to Karbala on the 10th day, when many of the Sahabis had died and many of his friends had died. It is said in the morning, the battle that Imam Hussein fought with the army of Yazid, they were all fighting together. The whole of the army of Imam Hussein was fighting with the whole of the army of Yazid. But till Dhuhr, the Sahabi of Imam Hussein were killed. And after Dhuhr, Imam Hussein's family members went and fought one by one. It is said that Hazrat al-Akbar was the first shaheed on the plains of Karbala from the family of Imam Hussein. Then the time came when the Sahabis had finished and almost all the family members of Imam Hussein had finished. At that time, it is said in Maqatil that Bibi Zainab, she dressed Aoun and Muhammad and she gave them their swords and she said, "Look, now you have to go in the battlefield and you have to kill the enemies of your uncle and you should not return to me until you have been killed." Bibi Zainab took Aoun and Muhammad and went to Imam Hussein and said to Imam Hussein, "Oh my brother, let your nephews go and fight now on the plains of Karbala." At this, Imam Hussein was reluctant and Imam Hussein refused. Bibi Zainab went again to Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein refused again. Until Bibi Zainab, it is said, started crying. At that time, Imam Hussein cried. And he said, "Okay then, on a heavy heart, Imam Hussein let Aoun and Muhammad go on the plains of Karbala to fight in the battlefield." It is said Aoun and Muhammad went and they started fighting. They fought, but they were little children. Aoun fell from his horse and Muhammad came to Aoun. And he said, "Oh brother, do not despair. I shall soon join you." And Muhammad fought and Muhammad too was struck down. The child shouted out to his uncle, "Oh uncle, come to our aid." Imam Hussein went to Aoun and Muhammad. He grabbed Aoun and Muhammad. It is said that Imam Hussein put one child in one of his arms and the other one in the other. And he went towards the camp in the state that the feet of both of the children were on the sands of Karbala and their heads and their chests were in the arms of Imam Hussein. As Imam Hussein went to the camp, all the ladies came out to receive the shuhada. But it is said, whenever Imam Hussein used to carry a body to the camp, Bibi Zainab used to be the first one to receive the body. But this time Imam Hussein could not see Zainab. Wherever he looked, he just saw women, but he could not see Zainab. Imam Hussein placed the two boys in front of Shuhada. Then he went to the tent of Zainab. As he lifted the tent and he saw inside, he saw that Bibi Zainab was in prostration saying to Allah,